It's me, it's Queen Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. So, I got a message from a man last night, and he was talking to me about an Aquarius woman that he really likes. So, he said to me, I don't understand why she's always at work. He was like, seriously, he was like, she works like 12 or 14 hours a day. And he was like, she's constantly at work. Is that an Aquarius thing? And I'm like, hell yeah. Aquarius have the tendency to be one or two things, in my estimation. Aquarius are either workaholics like me, or they don't do shit. One or the other. Like with me, I work 12 to 14 hours a day. Usually more like 10 to 12, I'm going to say, hours a day. And I usually get a nap in around noontime. So I've always been like that. Ever since I had my first job, I worked a lot of overtime. For me, it's always been, I like money. I like having bills paid. So I've always worked a lot of overtime, and I've always done like extracurricular activities that paid money. I've always had side gigs that paid money. I've always done things to make money. So a lot of Aquarius are like me. Either they like money or they just like having their bills paid. They like having security. And a lot of us have the tendency to work a lot. I know 5 workaholic Aquariuses right now. And we're always working. We make time for things that we care about, but we're always working. And then there's the other side. That's the Aquarius who don't do shit. My father was one of those. They never have a job. They can't hold a job, quite frankly, and they always have some excuse. Some of them can't even take care of their house plants. You know, they're not doing nothing else, but they can't. They just can't. They could if they wanted to, but they are not responsible enough to do it. Quite frankly, they're too airy fairy. These are the Aquarius who always have their heads in the air. They're more of the artistic type. So this type of person, you know, they might do a little bit of art or a little bit of something. Usually they're living off somebody, to be honest with you. Most of the Aquarius I know that are like that, they're living with their mom, they're living with their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their family member, they're living in a family member's home, something like that. They're usually not independent like the rest of us, and if they are independent, they're still living with somebody else. So you have one of those two types, but the workaholic type is the more common type. Now, with the Aquarius, I really truly believe that with the workaholic type, a lot of it is escapism. Because I think that we work so much to keep our mind off of what emotions and feelings and things that we don't want to deal with. That's what I've come to find. That a lot of us work so much and keep our minds so busy so we don't have to deal with things that we don't want to deal with. At this point in my life, I work a lot. And it's not really to get escape from anything anymore, but at one point it was. At one point I was always working because work was the only time that I can get away from all the madness, especially when I was married. You know, when I was married, I went to school or went to work as a means of escape, of escaping the house, you know, escaping my situation, not having to think about my feelings about it. And that has a large part to do with it. So I know a lot of Aquarius who do that. They work a lot, and that's the reason why. Even the ones who are lazy and don't do anything have a tendency that it is escapism too, because what they want to do is escape into folly. They want to escape into imagination. They want to escape into drugs. They want to escape into sleeping. I know a lot of them that sleep all the time. So like the Aquarius that I know that really don't do anything, they're still escaping, but they're just escaping in a different way. You can escape productively or you can escape non-productively. Some of us are just intelligent enough to escape in a way that is productive. So if you have a workaholic Aquarius, that is very common. If you have a lazy Aquarius, that is also too very common. Some of us are a combination of both. It depends on what day it is. But just know that that is very common for the Aquarius. It's only a problem when they're doing it to escape something. So if your Aquarius is working hard and they're, you know, making a life for themselves and they're okay emotionally, they're balanced emotionally, I wouldn't worry about it. But if your Aquarius is constantly working or constantly escaping, and you've identified that it's something that, needs to be addressed, such as emotional baggage, things like that, then that's something that I would be more concerned about. And if it came up, it's something that I would discuss with them. I would wait for it to come up and discuss it with them, because you can't escape your feelings and your emotions by working hard and doing other things like that. I've already tried it. It doesn't work. No matter what you try to escape, you have to deal with sometimes. And when you come back from your adventure, whatever you had to deal with is still going to be there looking at you in the face. So if you have an Aquarius that is exhibiting this particular behavior, my thing to you would be to have that conversation with them. Aquarius take our feelings and put them in a drawer and stuff them somewhere. But remember, Aquarius, that drawer will one day pop open. It did. It did for me. And it did for many of us. One day that drawer pops open. One day when you least expect it, something happens, and that is the straw that broke that drawer is back. Okay? You put one more thing in it and the whole thing collapses. And then you have to sit there and deal with all those feelings that you've been stuffing in that drawer for the past 20 years. So as an Aquarius, I recommend dealing with what is in the drawer before it collapses. I recommend looking in it and saying, you know what, let me open this drawer and see what's in this drawer, and start taking stuff out this drawer. Start doing therapy. Start doing something to deal with everything that's in this drawer. Because I'm telling you, Aquarius, that drawer is going to pop one day from all the stuff that you're putting in it. And then you're going to be trapped at a very inopportune moment, having to deal with the mess that's on the floor. Okay? See you later.